And Rabbi Dr. Joshua Ritchie, you have a very fascinating story about the Amshinova Rebbe, whom you were very close to, and Reb Shlomo, whom you were very close to, and how the two of them came together essentially.
But they actually, I thought I was the one who brought them together. Truth is, Shlomo had met not only the Amshinova, he had met his father already in Williamsburg in Brooklyn, already in about 1950 or 40, somewhere in that period. But I thought I was the one connecting. It turns out Shlomo and the made sure that I met the Amshinova. But I thought I came to him by myself, and in a sense I did. But there's an Eliezer, kind of beautiful person here, who was told by Shlomo, make sure they get together. And truth was, it didn't work. But on one late Shabbos, looking for a late minyan, fell into the Amshinova shul.
In Bayit Vagan.
In Bayit Vagan. The Amshinova then greeted me at the end of Mincha with great love and adopted me, basically. And from then on, I felt like a Ben Bias.
And you became an Amshinova Chassid.
I was treated like a son, and I felt very much at home. And yes, I over the years felt like I was part of the family. And to this day, I'm very close to the daughter of that Rebbe.
Now, for Reb Shlomo, this was also a very important connection to the Amshinova Rebbe, because not everybody in the Haredi world accepted him. Amshinova Rebbe stood by him when he needed him, one time at the Kotel. You remember that story?
Oh, sure.
You tell us what happened.
Yeah. Now, the Amshinova, when asked why he loves Shlomo so much, why he defended him with so much respect for him, says, I know what he's accomplished. I see what he does. You know, I've seen the fruits of his efforts. You know, he'd met a lot of Bali Chuvas and so on. So he knew Shlomo not only from meeting Shlomo, but even more so from meeting the results of Shlomo's work. Hundreds of, and Shlomo had thousands of Bali Chuvas, but hundreds came to see Amshinova. And it was a very special.
Do you remember the story at the Kotel that?
Sure.
Amshinova intervened to make sure that Reb Shlomo could be there properly?
Yeah, well, there was a Tisha B'Av where Shlomo was at the Kotel, far away from the Kotel, and people gathered around him, and he was telling stories. And some young hippie that we didn't recognize, wasn't even part of our group, came up with a guitar and started. We didn't even hear him playing it.
This was on Tisha B'Av himself?
We didn't ever see him or hear it, but people claimed there was somebody playing a guitar. In the inner circle around Shlomo, there wasn't anybody playing a guitar. So either it was true or not true. You don't play music. But either there was or wasn't. It might have just been their excuse, or there might have been something in the outer periphery.
Right.
But some people started throwing little pebbles at us. You know,
stoning you.
Well, you could say that, but they were gentle little pebbles of affection, I'm sure. And so what got to be very interesting is then the Rav of the Kotel called out the troops.
We're talking about Rav Gates.
Yeah, called out the troops to protect us. And a group of young soldiers.
Troops, you mean soldiers?
Yeah. About 20-some young soldiers came and encircled us and escorted us to the Kotel. We're way at the back. And Rav Gates wanted to make a show that he was inviting Shlomo to the Kotel with an armed guard.
Wow.
And so they led us to the Kotel, but it wasn't very comfortable being led with an armed guard. And so when we finally got to leave, we did. So Shlomo we could have a sense, you know, is it going to be safe to go back without an armed guard? The Amshinova Rebbe then Motzi Shabbos asked Motzi Tisha B'Av, and I think was it Motzi Shabbos? I'm not sure, but it was either that Motzi Tisha B'Av or the next night. The Amshinova invited us to go with Shlomo to go with us to the Kotel, and Shlomo kept trying to find an excuse not to. And the Amshinova absolutely insisted that he come. And I don't know that you have the time for the whole story of the Moifus, but there was a Moifus that the Amshinova insisted we drive to pick up Shlomo. Because Shlomo wasn't coming.
Right.
And as I drive up to the place, Shlomo appears from his balcony and then down at curbside within about a second.
Wow.
Because he sees us coming in the car.
Where was he living at the time?
On
Lincoln Street.
It's Lincoln.
Lincoln 16 was it? Or something?
12, I think. Either 12 or 16. It was one of those numbers. Or 14, somewhere between there. but on the Holdlinkeln on the third floor.